When desire corrupts people, Daisaku Ikeda's teachings. Every human being lives with desires. The urge to want more, to be recognized more in itself. This is not evil. However, when we are used by our desires, we quietly begin to corrupt. Daisaku Ikeda, the honorary president of Soka Gakkai, continuously spoke about the true nature of desire and the path to breaking free from it, unfolding the wisdom of Buddhism. Based on his writings, this video gently yet powerfully unravels the mechanism of how desire corrupts people, overlaying his insights with modern neuroscience and psychology. Chapter 1. What is desire? The three poisons of the mind, discerned by Buddhism. In Buddhism, there is a concept known as the three poisons: greed, anger, and foolishness. It has long been taught that these three fundamental earthly desires are the source of all human suffering. In the writings of Nichiren Daishonin, it is recorded that human illnesses are divided into, quote, illnesses of the body and illnesses of the mind. He states that the true nature of illnesses of the mind lies precisely in these earthly desires, beginning with the three poisons Nichiren on curing illness. Grounded in this Buddhist view, Daisaku Ikeda writes in his work, The Wisdom of the Lotus Sutra, that human life possesses 10 life states, the 10 worlds. He explains that a life dominated by desire may temporarily experience splendor, akin to the world of heaven, but that is nothing more than an illusory pleasure that does not last. Having desires in itself is by no means evil. The desire to improve oneself is also a form of desire. The problem arises when desire becomes the master and we become its slave. To continuously seek more without limit, feeling a parched mind. No matter how much one is satisfied, this state is the very manifestation of, quote, greed in Buddhism. This is the life swayed by desire against which Mr. Ikeda repeatedly raised alarms. Chapter 2. The Disease of Mammonism. A warning to modern civilization. Daisaku Ikeda struck a frank chord of warning regarding the atmosphere enveloping modern society. He pointed out that what is coming to dominate the spiritual world of modern people is, simply put, the trend of mammonism, money worship. Money, status, and recognition. These are important elements that support life. However, when these substitute themselves as the purpose of life itself, people lose sight of the dignity of their own lives. Mr. Ikeda stated that the root cause of unhappiness in modern society lies in the lack of the fundamental idea that human life itself is a dignified existence. In a society consumed by satisfying desires, people eventually begin to measure their own worth and judge others by what they possess. This breeds a quiet division and loneliness. We are supposed to become happier the more material things we acquire. Yet for some reason, our hearts remain unfulfilled. This contradiction is the very form of quiet corruption that the disease of mammonism inflicts upon life. Chapter 3. A civilization that has forgotten death and unchecked desire. In a certain dialogue, Daisaku Ikeda made a highly impressionable point. He remarked that while modern civilization is called a civilization that has forgotten death, this is directly related to the fact that it has simultaneously become, quote, a civilization that has left desire unchecked. Precisely because humans are conscious of the finiteness of death, they strive to cherish and live in this very moment. However, when we forget death and fall into the illusion that life continues forever. Our desires lose all restraint. Mr. Ikeda warned that when this happens, both individuals and society fall into a hand-to-mouth state of corruption. This is not a story exclusive to special individuals. When we are chased by work without deadlines or desires, with no end in sight, we too inadvertently forget the weight of each moment before us. Being conscious of death is by no means dark or pessimistic. Rather, precisely because life is limited, the single day called today becomes an irreplaceable treasure. What Mr. Ikeda wanted to convey was that at the foundation of a life not swayed by desire lies this humility toward the finiteness of life. Chapter 4. Learning from the 10 Worlds. A way of life rising above a desiring society. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a view of life known as the theory of the 10 worlds. It is the idea that 10 life states from the lower worlds, like hell and hunger, to the higher states of bodhisattvas and Buddhas, are inherently possessed within everyone. In the Wisdom of the Lotus Sutra, Daisaku, Ikeda describes elevating one's state of life to the higher realms as the path to, quote, rising above a desiring society. The joy of the world of heaven when desire is fulfilled is certainly pleasant. However, he teaches that it is an illusory pleasure that vanishes if conditions change, and it does not provide true stability. What then supports true happiness? Mr. Ikeda stated that happiness is determined by the relationship between the environment and one's own life force. Even in a bad environment, if you have the power to overcome it and give it meaning through your own life force, you can achieve happiness. In other words, the key is not to completely negate desire, but to cultivate a strong and rich state of life capable of mastering desire. This is the core of the way of life taught by Mr. Ikeda. Chapter 5. Human Revolution. One individual's transformation changes the world. At the very core of Daisaku Ikeda's philosophy lies the term human revolution. This means transforming one's own life and state of being for the better, and continuing to grow as a human being. The theme of his novel, The Human Revolution, states, a great human revolution in just a single individual will eventually help achieve a change in the destiny of a nation, and further, will enable a change in the destiny of all humankind, whether to be dominated by desire or to live overcoming it. This choice is an inner battle for each individual that cannot be blamed solely on social structures. Mr. Ikeda noted that human beings themselves are the protagonists who build societies, and that hatred and trust, war and peace, all spring from a single determination, ichinen, of a human being. In other words, the transformation of a single human being who is not swept away by desire never stops at being a personal event. That transformation quietly but surely ripples outward to society as a whole. The fact that you, today, refuse to be swallowed by desire and take a step forward based on your own authentic values, that itself is the very first step toward changing the world. Chapter 6. Modern Neuroscience Decodes the True Nature of Desire and Corruption, the terror of greed that Buddhism discerned over 2,000 years ago, the structure where wanting has no end has actually been decoded by modern neuroscience as a concrete mechanism. Inside the brain, there is a circuit called the reward system, where a neurotransmitter called dopamine plays a central role. Through the research of neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz and others, it has become clear that dopamine responds more strongly to the difference between the expected reward and the actual outcome, rather than to the actual pleasure obtained itself. When a reward exceeding expectations is received, the brain learns to do it more, seeking an even larger stimulus next time. This is the mechanism that generates addiction. Furthermore, neuroscientist Kent Berridge revealed that the urge of wanting and the pleasure of liking are handled by separate circuits within the brain. Through repeated behavior-seeking stimulation, only the wanting circuit becomes hypersensitive. As a result, the urge to seek does not stop, even if one is not actually satisfied. In neurological terms, greed is a state where only the urge to pursue pleasure has run wild. Here we find a deep alignment with Buddhism. Mr. Ikeda's words, "The splendor of heaven is an illusory pleasure," mean that ancient wisdom accurately predicted the very structure of the brain. The phenomenon known as the hedonic treadmill, the finding that no matter what one acquires, the level of happiness quickly returns to its baseline, also supports this. Desire itself is not bad. Rather, failing to notice the wild run of the wanting urge and being manipulated by it is the true nature of corruption. Ending. Desire is not the enemy. How you use it is what determines your life. The three poisons of Buddhism and the runaway wanting circuit of neuroscience point to a single answer. Corruption is not the act of having desires itself, but being dominated by the urge of wanting without even realizing it. What Daisaku Ikeda spent his life speaking about was the strength to hold desires, yet not be swayed by them. Gently turning your gaze toward what is moving inside your own mind. Right now, by doing that alone, a person can step away from corruption. Quietly facing your own desires on this day, that itself is a certain step toward human revolution. Thank you very much for watching until the end. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.